Everybody, thanks for checking out the Chris Gethard Show podcast. That's really cool that you're checking this out.
We're about to do, I think, the dumbest show we've done in years.
His life would be trash! And you better believe I'm trashed.
We are scrappy trash people.
What's the point of this show? I just turned it on.
We've always been with this show.
We've always been trash people. We will always be trash people.
It's true.
This doesn't feel real.
Hello! Live from my grandmother's basement, we're the Trash People. I'm Emily Pineapple.
And I'm Forrest, keeper of the Canon.
And every week, we talk about something related to the sort of general orbit of Planet Scum. Chris Gethard's Twitch streaming network. So hello everyone, welcome. I know this is the first box show
In a while.
that we're gonna have in a while. I'm hella stoked.
Well, also, as Blogtoven pointed out, there may not be many left. We're pretty low on remaining items.
3 weeks?
Yeah,
is
it's
that
been-
just a premonition, or is that
It's
till
been
the end of
3
the year?
weeks. It's been 3 weeks since
Oh,
the
since
last
a box
show.
show. Order
Roughly.
Chipotle.
Like,
Alice,
yeah, last box
it's
show
Box Day.
was Mike's birthday. Happy birthday, Single
Happy
Walk
birthday,
Run.
Single Walk Run.
Debating if I should make dinner order Chipotle. That's what you were responding to.
Yeah.
Get Chipotle. Give yourself a little treat.
Just a little
It's been.
Just a
Let
little
Tig
treat.
read.
Let Tig read.
Let Tig order Chipotle.
Yes.
You and me both, Sarm Smith. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with myself when the box show ends either.
Watching Gethard do a shift at Highlander Games.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? I hope so.
I think that'd be great, but I have no idea.
Right? Right?
I have no idea what's happening after Gethard faces off against the demon Baphomet.
Ah! I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Friends, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started with this episode. We like to start out each week with this real fun little bit.
What's
That's
that?
right, it's tarot time, where I do a tarot reading from the beautiful Planet Scum tarot cards designed by our very own Stephen Premmel. And y'all, there are 3 new cards in
That's
this deck
right.
this week, hand delivered by the Premmels themselves when they came to see Gethard.
Yeah, to see good old Chris
yeah.
Geth himself.
So I'm really hoping that we get some in this, and if we don't, then
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
was
gonna
the-
find them in the deck and show them to
That was
you.
the Premelocalypse.
The Premmelocalypse! It was really fun. It was a really fun trip. It was very fun show.
And there's the cat.
Definitely check out Gethard's show if he's coming through your area.
Yes. It was our first time seeing a live, beautiful Anonymous, and that was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Yes. It was really fun. I thought I would be a little more anxious, like, inside of a place, but it was really chill. Like, they checked our vaccine cards, and it was this really nice big venue.
Yeah, it was the Independent.
In San Francisco. Big
Yes, he does look like a
recommend.
turkey right now. That's a great
He does.
point.
He does. We actually just have a turkey there.
Yeah,
There's
not
no
a cat.
We've never had a cat.
Thank you, Ollie Garden, and welcome.
It's always just been a naked turkey. Welcome, Ollie Garden.
It's been a naked turkey.
Ollie Garden, Olive Loaf
Yes.
Garden.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Ollie Garden. Check out their Instagram
Yes.
because they have some fucking amazing looks, including Deadeye's looks.
Their Dead Eyes look was so good.
And other like Gethard related,
Yeah.
and they're also just
And
like
just amazing
really
looks
fucking
that aren't
amazing,
related
like
to the
art,
Yeah.
drag, fantastic. You know, like that style of costuming, which is just explosive and incredible. So let's start with our tarot reading. This is
Tarot
a general reading for
readings.
everyone in the collective. That's what the people who I watch on TikTok who are doing tarot readings say.
They call themselves a collective.
No, they're doing a general reading for the collective, and then if you
Oh.
put your name and you ask a question in the chat, then they'll answer your question based on,
think you're-
you know. Oh, I'm like
Mike's
hitting something.
the cable a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little bit of noise.
And then we'll answer your question. which is interesting because sometimes it's just like Jake does love you back. You're gonna get a divorce.
Alice
Like,
saying,
I'm like, what did you pick that tells you this?
Alice wishes Gethard would come to L.A. But he's going to San Diego and San Pedro, but that's as close.
Ooh, that's a little close.
He'll be in Portland in February with Murph, as we learned last week, or last 3 weeks ago.
Murph and the Murfling. Not coming to Chicago anytime soon. That is too bad. But we do know that famously Dot is in Chicago, and she's really cool. So at least you have Dot. A person, I don't know if you know them. She's just a person.
Someone on the Discord?
In the Discord. Friends, our first card, this is our general, this is the theme. The theme of the week, okay?
Ooh.
This is our theme for the week, and it's one of the new ones, y'all. We got a
It's
new
Will
one.
Hines.
Right up top. That's right, it's Will Hines, the completionist. This is a beautiful card. And I haven't written out explanations for these cards, so we're all gonna sort of figure it out together. Something that I noticed when I first saw this card was I love the box coming up like the sun. It has our inspiration lines around it. It's
I love that.
It's the Godhead. It's the inspiration or whatever. And what I love about it is that you don't know if it's a sunrise or a sunset. But you do have a little road to it. So it's is Will about to walk down the road? Or has he just come from walking that road? And of course, with the completionist being the name of it, one can make any sort of assumption about it. Looking at this and thinking about this show.
This show being the box show. Or this show.
The box show.
Okay.
And reading the completionist, of course, the other cards that we pull are going to inform this one. But also, if anyone sees anything in this that has meaning to them, please call it out in the chat.
Yeah.
So that we can talk about it. Because this is a brand new card. Look, he's wearing his I'm going to be a real bitch tonight shirt.
I love that detail.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that incredible?
That's so
I love
cool.
it. So let's pick our next card.
Yeah.
Let's look at what our best case scenario for this
Blogtoven
week is.
assumes that Will's playing a song for Scarlett in the image,
Oh, I like that.
which I like a lot.
Yeah, because the guitar is used in the show.
Yeah.
In such a wonderfully punched up way.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like the guitar or the singing of a song was anything. It was complimenting things that were already there.
Yes.
Scarlett was a caller and it complimented. He plays it during Law and Order. Other times when Gethard is just ranting. The
improv fields of East Los
Angeles. It's the Pied Piper, and coming over those hills will be the improvisers. I don't think he's cult leadery enough.
No. No.
He's too normal of a dude to start
I don't think.
a UCB.
Yeah. Well, he does have a school.
Yeah, but that's
But
different.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not cult at all. But
Yeah.
he is a god.
He is a god.
He is a god.
He is a god. I love how everything that he does with it really it complements that which is there, and it makes me think about what does one need to complete something. So sort of there's a trinity now: him, Geth, and Christy. 3 is a nice round number. We love that. Human brains. We love that. Our brains are just yes.
Oh, wait. Lindsay notes a little to the left. So let me just.
I was and it makes me think of the finishing touches that you put on something for it to be complete. You know, there's often details, and your favorite details of a project aren't ones that come until the project's almost entirely together, because you couldn't have seen like the need for that until it was all together.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so important to just make things.
Yeah. That's
even if
true.
you don't think it's going to turn out well.
Absolutely.
If you're like, wow, I've never made a zine start to finish before on my own.
Right.
Versus in a team, should I do it in Procreate? Should I make little drawings for each of the cats that I'm going to draw? And then should I trace it from this or that or use the... And then I'm like sitting there being like, I know this is going to turn out bad. Like, I know this isn't my best work. These are not my favorite poems. I'm putting together a little zine. I'm like, these are not my favorite poems. This isn't my favorite thing I've done. But I need to fucking do it so I can figure out how to do this.
Well, and it's
for
almost
the things
nice.
I do like.
Yeah, it's nice to have the first one where you're figuring out the thing to be ones you're not necessarily as precious about, so that when you do the ones you are precious about, you can actually complete it. Yeah, and Lindsay says something similar, which is that Lindsay was nervous when they set out to paint the newest portrait, and they love it because it's so different from their normal look. Yeah, that's their...
That is gorgeous.
You can see
Lindsay,
it on Lindsay's Instagram as well.
I love how it looks a lot more like the posterized style.
Yeah.
Very like mod, very cool. I love it. I love it. Let's look at our best case
What
scenario.
is our best case scenario
for this week? So here's that stuff we got going for us.
Right. Are you recapping, or is
that
this...
which is in our court?
The artist!
The artist is in our court! Look at that! Look at how happy she is. She's got Happy sitting proudly on her lap. She has her beautiful pomegranates full of the fertility of creativity standing between her two paintbrushes with M.H. Mary Houlihan. She is showing off her art, and she is confident in it and in its creation. That's what something I like about the moon is the moon is like mysteries, you know? Mysteries, the occult, the arcane. It's on the Empress card.
Which is the basis for the Jess card.
For the Jess card.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
The High Priestess.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the Empress is the basis for the Jess card, but the moon is on the High Priestess card, who... It's a nice card. It's a nice card. All about, mysteries and power. So I love that this is what we've got going for us. We've got the fact that we have the skills. We have the fact that we have bodies of work behind us, even if they don't feel like bodies of work.
Right.
You know? You sit there, you're like, I haven't produced anything. But then you're like, I have these 20 sketchbooks with bad doodles in them. That's a body of work, motherfucker.
Absolutely, it is. You
all of that was necessary
to do your stuff now.
And let's look at our best case scenario. Retired filmmaker George Lucas.
Wow, we don't often get this in the best case scenario.
We don't. So this lovely thing is based on the judgment card.
Yeah.
And often when it shows up on the like sort of things that aren't going for us side of the spread, we're like, old man yells at people, tells them what to do. You know? But what it also sort of represents, if we take it as that's George Lucas,
creator of Star Wars, sort of like preaching to the people or looking down upon his creation. He gets to define what his story is. Yeah, he does.
He's the one with the final say as to like what's part of his story and what isn't, what's part of his art and what isn't, what he wants to add, those finishing touches to complete his saga. He gets to make those decisions, and so do we.
What is the McClunky in each of our lives?
And I think it also points to, like, it's your art and you get to decide what to do with it. It's your project and you get to decide what to do with it. It's your thing that isn't art. Which I'm not sure anything is at this point. I've been thinking very philosophically this week.
You think nothing's art?
No, I think everything's art.
Oh, okay.
I have, like, this thing in my head about, like, how humans are... Like, the way
how
that humans survive is by, like, tinkering and, like, fucking around with stuff. So our brains, like, even the most neurotypical human...
Speaking of tinkering...
wants to fuck around with stuff,
Alice raises a very great point. Because Alice just bought the prequels on 4K Blu-ray and is confused how they made a 4K transfer of Attack of the Clones because it was famously done on 720p because it was like the first feature film done and shot in entirely digital. And at that point, 720p was like pretty good. It was about as good as you could do. I don't know how they got it in 4K.
That's fascinating. That's what happens when you have industrial magic. That's them. All of them naked in boats.
Yes, our cat does have a lion cut.
He does, because he's not good at cleaning himself. And we live in a basement. And I was tired of dealing with his dirt and the bugs that would sometimes hide in there. Yes, witch magic. That was how he did it. You didn't know that that's actually why he and Marshall Lucas broke up.
Because George is a witch?
No, because she is the powerful witch.
Oh, okay.
And he was trying to make his own shit. So he's now involved in dark magic. Yeah, isn't that a cute kitty? He's a really good kitty. Yeah, you're a good kitty. You're a good kitty. I think he's happier too. He coughs up like less crap.
He runs around a lot more.
He gets less crap in his fur, and that then goes into his mouth. Let's look at...
Blogchoven's right. It's strange magic.
It's strange magic.
From the mind of George Lucas.
Let's look at our good side of the deck. Let's look at our best... Wait,
did you just do all those backwards?
I just did this backwards.
Oh, no. Whatever. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You did, but not. This is just a new style of reading.
This is a new style of reading. We got our goods. I said that it was going to be, this is the good one, so this is the good one.
So
let's look at our worst case scenario.
Yeah, you can't go back.
No, you're right.
You just got to move forward.
You're right. Yes! Well, I mean, I suppose you can go back.
Well, George can go back.
Now I'm going to be thinking, like, what if that was the worst case scenario? Okay. These are the things getting in our way. These are our stumbling blocks. These are the proverbial Legos in the hallway at 2 a.m. when you have to pee.
Oh, no.
We got another one of the new cards! Check out our Now That's Interesting hosts. We have Maya and Justin. Did you hear my brain just like lag for a minute there?
I
was like,
the stream,
how did I forget these names?
The stream froze for a sec too.
Oh, wow.
As you shoved it forward, it froze on the card.
What I love about this one, so Premmel told us that this wall was actually part of the background of the picture that they used as a reference.
Yeah.
And that this background is actually a composite. So it doesn't come from a specific Pixie Smith tarot card, who's the artist for the classic Rider Smith deck. So that's what, like, you know, the style and all of this background art is based on. So I love that. And I love that interesting is our stumbling block, because it's pretty obvious that our stumbling block is ADHD. All of us are just walking through the fucking world and seeing, ooh, new thing, ooh, new thing, ooh, new thing.
Yeah, it just gave lots of time to look at it. Exactly.
Good. You should admire the art. But I think that that's what it is. This is about your interests. And this is about interests as a potpourri is what I see it. Not like this is my special interest, like this is the thing I'm really into.
Yeah.
This is like when you're at a party and you share about a thing that interests you, and then someone else shares about a thing that interests them, and you're like, that's so interesting, I can't deal. And then you end up like going down a rabbit hole about this thing, and then someone else comes over and is like, you know. Oh, Lindsay Premmel, they started out as playing cards and eventually were used to read people. The original card game dates back to the 1500s in Italy, where they were used to tell stories. Like, the idea is like you'd pull cards and then have to like tell a humorous story based on the archetypes that you picked, like of a different person or this or that.
It's super interesting.
It's super interesting. That's my cat poems. I just pulled tarot cards and wrote a line based on each card to roughly be. So that's another fun use of tarot cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that the stumbling block for us is being scatter-minded.
That's certainly been the case with me today.
All those little things that come up that you're like, oh, that's fascinating. I need to do a rabbit hole. Oh, that's a good idea. I should be working on that. Oh, like I was working on this, but what if this other thing that I'm like more interested in, because now that I've been working on this one thing for like 5 hours, I like don't care about it anymore. So I'm not going to finish it. Instead, I'm going to start something entirely new. It's only 10 p.m.
Blocktoven asking, were they like 52? Were they like the sort of standard card deck, or were they used to play a specific game?
So apparently there was a specific game. This is like what I remember of all my research, because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't that I wasn't shitting on someone's religion or something by just being flippant. It was a specific game. The cards were used for many games of that similar style. And there was originally just what's called the major arcana. So a tarot deck is made up of, like 27 cards that are... someone knows.
Hey, Premmel, let us know how many cards are in a tarot deck.
And then there's the minor arcana, which more relate... like they're more one-to-one with like aces. Like there's 12 aces.
Right.
Like,
how there's like a blank of swords
or not aces,
and stuff.
Sorry. Spades and other things. But yeah, so there's a number of major arcana cards, which most of these are based on. So
I think all of these are.
No, some of them have minor arcana elements, but like this is based on the Empress. I don't have my actual cards here. The Empress, and...
Empress or High Priestess?
Sorry, the High Priestess. Thank you. The High Priestess. And that is one of the major arcana cards, and they represent an archetype, typically. People feel that they represent an archetype, and they can be read differently based on being a major arcana or minor arcana card. The minor arcana cards are of 4 different suits. There's swords, and pentacles.
Here's the High Priestess for reference.
Wands and cups. And all of those have different meanings. Like swords are an air element, and they're about... Thank you.
There's 27 in this major arcana, but the correct total is 20 to 22. And then each minor arcana suit is 14
cards. Oh, good night,
cards.
good Klon, Ollie Garden. Thanks
good night,
for joining
good Klon,
us.
Ollie Garden.
That's cool. It's a Speedy Artist album.
And Verghost was wondering for advice about how to get into tarot and learning the interpretations.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing with it is there's a ton of websites out there, and there are a ton of books that exist. The way that I went about learning them personally, because there are different... Basically, it's a bunch of fucking symbols on a card. And you can interpret those all sorts of different ways based on various things. So I can look like at this, let's say it's like I can look at the pomegranates. Those are something in the original one. I can be like, pomegranates, well, in the Bible, they represented this or that. So I will relate it then to this or that. I like looking at the symbols. I have a book. I like looking at the symbols to see what they mean, as well as sort of just gaining a general knowledge about what each card, like the keywords of each card are, and then relating them to other things. So what I do when I read cards is I have a couple of guidebooks. The first one that I will always go to is like this mini tarot book, which just has essentially keywords for each card. And then if I feel like I want to look more into it, or if I want to like learn more about that card, and I usually do because I'm still learning too, I will take out my more detailed books. Some like there's...
Yeah, you have a number of tarot books at this point.
Ones that, the color scheme is very important. The colors are also important to tarot, and it really comes down to what you see and what story you sort of get from it. So for example, like blue skies have a particular representation, but then again, like blue means different things in different cultures, in different contexts, in different microcultures. So that's what's really fun about tarot. Biddy Tarot is a good website. I use, my favorite one is Tarot Reference. I'll look it up. It's just a different one that has more keywords because I just really like having keywords rather than prose. Tarot Guide. Tarot Guide is the name of the book, or is the name of that website. So I like it. There's a bunch of stuff, and I highly encourage it. And feel free to ask on the Discord. A number of people on the Discord do tarot.
Yeah.
Most of them way more than I. And everyone is really, really generous with their information and with their advice. I've definitely gone to the Discord before and asked just for like advice about a tarot thing and had people give me that advice. And a lot of the meanings for these were developed also by Ada, the resident witch, who was on the Discord and is such a huge sweetheart and actual witch. So I got a lot of information from her too. Yeah. She's such a sweet, she's such a sweet person. So we have interesting. That's our stumbling block.
That's our stumbling block. And then there's
ADHD is our first stumbling block. Of course, for Ghost, we have a pretty big tarot community here. Like, which shit is fun. Which shit is fun. Here's our worst case scenario.
Oh, I see what it is.
For the week. Worst case scenario. That's right, friends. Unfortunately,
it's the game.
It's the game. The game of life. Okay, this is Martin Urbano. This game only exists live now.
That's true.
What I generally like look at this card, we think about the game of life, sort of that coin flip that we all fucking got when we were born, when we gained consciousness. I don't know when the fuck that is, but sometime between birth and now. And the worst case scenario is you get lost in the game. Yep, Blogtoven. Yep. You get lost in the game, and we have often pulled this card and said this is capitalism. The game is capitalism. The game is the system that we are born into that we cannot escape. We can only hope to live within and find what measure of freedom we can within that system. And so looking at like the idea of the completionist, how are we going to complete? How are we going to create an identity for ourselves that we like?
Right.
How are we going to create a body of work that we're proud of, that we want to put out into the world? With our worst case scenario being we get distracted. We aren't able to put our goals together to complete them. And we just get caught up in the game of life, you know? We're under that wheel. We're all the Jersey Daves in the beef pudding. Yeah, winning that game is about the box show.
Exactly, yeah, you can win the game by winning the game.
Yeah. Whereas our best case scenario for this week is remembering, like, we have our body of work to back us up. So maybe instead of jumping for a bunch of new things, looking for our inspiration, looking back and saying, what has inspired us? What have we made? What elements do we already have that we can put together in a way that we like so that it can be completed and presented to the world in some way? With, of course, the worst case scenario being like we get caught up. And that's not like a bad thing either. No. Some weeks we get caught up in the wheel. Shit happens. Yeah. Like our lives happen.
It's unavoidable.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah.
But at the very least, we've done a bunch of cool research and found a bunch of interesting shit.
That's true.
And that's a joy of life as well.
It is.
Let's look at our advice.
Okay.
Let's look at our advice. This final card is for advice, and I sure hope it's the new one. It's not, but it's extremely good.
It's one of your favorite cards.
It's one of my favorite cards. Yeah. It might be my favorite card.
It's Googie.
It's Googie! That tells us that we must walk through the world with the confidence of a clown, ready for anything that comes our way, but with that joyful optimism. Walking the world. Is he about to fall off a cliff?
Good question.
Or is that just a little step that he's taken? He knows where he's going. Does he? Does he?
Good question.
But I think that it's pretty obvious that this is telling us to just keep going, keep embarking on our journey. Try and approach it with optimism, with belief in ourselves. That's what he's carrying. Like, he's not carrying a bunch of baggage.
Just a
he
bag.
He just has a little bag. Just a little bag right there. White flower, representing innocence. Some people have said in the original card, this is based on the Fool. There's a little dog that is either the townsfolk chasing him out or representing loyalty, because everything has all sorts of meanings.
Which is, I think, one of the secrets of interpreting it all.
That is the secret.
Oh.
But let me find...
Here's the Fool, by the way, while you're looking, so that people can see it for
reference.
reference.
Oh, no, my favorite card is the Musician.
That's right. I knew it was one of the Googie cards.
This is my favorite card, Mr. Rude.
Yeah.
And this is based on the Hierophant, who's a pope. They're a pope. That's just an old-timey word for pope. So it's really cool that he just broke onto the fucking Pope's stage and is like, this is my show now.
And
Friends.
Here is the Hierophant.
But here is our third new card.
Here's our third new card.
That's right.
The
it's
Queen
the
of
Queen
Tears.
of Tears. The Queen of Tears, based generally on the cups suit, which they hold our emotions. They are the ocean. They are the unconscious. So it's a beautiful fit. I think it's a gorgeous card, and I'm so
Blogtoven
excited to pick it up.
Has a question. Is
Yes.
Riley the only person on multiple cards? No.
We got like Jersey Dave and production people are on multiple
Mary's
cards,
on multiple cards,
including Mary's
too.
on multiple cards.
Millie's on multiple cards.
on multiple cards.
Not that many are.
The host, Martin is on multiple
Urbano's
cards.
on multiple cards.
I was not pointing
You
at
were
Martin
pointing at
Urbano.
Gethard's card.
I'm sorry. Like here's another Millie.
Yeah.
But as Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. And then there's the judge card as well. Martin's on the game and the host.
Yeah. So basically Martin, Mary,
pretty much.
and Googie and Riley. As well as some staff members and Millie.
But we're used more as like illustrative art elements
Yeah.
in other cards, not the focus in the way that like Mary or Riley are.
Like they're on the wheel.
Right.
Like those are.
Yeah, the gargoyles are
There you are.
us. Yeah, there's me reading. And if
Keeping
you
that canon.
want to read some things, I think you can play some trivia with us because we're running a little bit real quick on time. So go to Kahoot.
We are.
Yeah, we are. But we'll do a show and tell next time. But for now, go to Kahoot.it or use the Kahoot app and enter room code 840-1890.
And you'll be playing against me. But this is what I was going to show and tell. San Francisco Bay Area Mr. Tech Bro pageant scene.
Well, do you want to do a quick show and tell on it?
A quick show and tell.
Okay.
We'll look up the artist and everything next time. I wanted to show off, like, it just goes through, like, the pageant. So this page is contestants will compete to be the first to interject with a Tarantino film fun fact you've never fucking heard before. Actually, Quentin has more credits for acting than directing.
I love
Actually,
that card.
True Romance
Or
is
that
his first screenplay. Actually, the briefcase was full of diamonds. So that's magnificent. And if you've been to the Bay Area or know Tech Bros, all these things are really wonderful.
Can you hold that up again? Because I want to turn down the lights while it's up so people can see the art style a little bit more. So it looks great. I love the look of the zine so much that I wanted to make sure to show it.
And we can see the winner, our old-fashioned goof. And this was, of course, from Silver Sprocket, awesome zine shop in San Francisco, and you can order all their shit online.
Yes.
Next, Contestants will demonstrate their other favorite pastime, dabbling in DJing. Keep calm and mix on. I grew up listening to my parents' record collection. It's hard to pin down my style. I just love it.
It's so good. And who is that by? Because we should definitely make sure to say the artist.
This is by Cat Jelly.
This is by
Cat Jelly.
Cat Jelly.
Kattjelly. At Cat Jelly.
You said Katt?
Yeah. Katt.
Oh, I think I'm typoed.
Jelly. And I am signing up for the Kahoot right
I found
now.
Cat Jelly. They're Cat Kelly.
Oh.
But you can follow them on
yeah.
Instagram, and I'll share that.
Check out their cool shit.
I'll share that.
That's
and I'll
some cool shit.
try to remember to include that in the show notes for the episode as well. But here's a look at their Instagram.
Like that hot dog. Check out that hot dog, you guys. Check it out.
While you go to Kahoot.it or use the Kahoot app and enter room code 8401890. Yeah, so I can hear some art that they did recently as well. And it's just so good.
In the same style.
Same style.
Super fun.
There's just great work.
Super duper fun. Fantastic work.
So we won't get to delve into it as much as we would ideally like to, but you can if you buy it from Silver Sprocket after you play trivia. With whom? Let's see who's playing trivia with us today. It's Pineapple.
Me!
Virgos. Wrestling Void. Beautiful City. Blogtoven. Goo. Clever Name 635. Stephen Premmel. Studio Kumquat. Sarm Smith. And Single Walk Run. And interestingly, it looks like Kahoot has changed how they're rendering emoji.
So the single walk run
To all
looks
in
even better.
the same style, which I don't really mind. It's interesting. I'm just commenting on what I'm seeing. And what I'm about to see is our first. Well, that didn't work. What I'm about to see, oh, I see why, is our first question. Here we go. It's coming in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Katie Hartman was the guest on last night's Merry Painting Party. What episode of Chris Gethard Presents did she co-host? Was that Chemistry Class, Cruise Ship Morgue, Hard Read, or Taggart and Wittert, Lawyers at Law? Which of these episodes were co-hosted by Katie Hartman, who drew a dinosaur yesterday on a great Merry Painting Party, and also hosted multiple shows on Seriously.tv, had a web series, and so much more.
Absolutely hilarious. Has an
I
old
love her work.
podcast, which is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was Cruise Ship Morgue.
It was Cruise Ship Morgue, and she co-hosted it with John Bander, who, as a fun fact, if you've watched Search Party, you'll recognize him from yelling about a briefcase, a suitcase. And that was the second to last episode of CGP. Yeah. Let's go to the leaderboard and see which two of you got it right.
It was
Pineapple
a cute one yesterday.
and Goo. What'd you say?
One BBR missed it yesterday.
Yeah, it was very good.
Signed in just in time to get it wrong. I'm so sorry, Jess Fadson Montgomery. I will delight in your pain on Friday.
And Single Walk Run worked with the other guest, Corey, on an Investigation Discovery show years ago.
Hell yeah.
Huh. Well, let's investigate the next question, shall we? Here we go. Question number 2. Who was the guest on the Chris Gethard Show episode We're Giving Away Cars?
Oh, I know
Was
this
that
one
Abby
too.
Jacobson, Aubrey Plaza, Gillian Jacobs, or Nicole Byer? All of these were actual guests on the Chris Gethard Show, and this wreck of a car shows the level of car that you were getting on that episode, which of course culminated in the show giving away the
Blogtoven
Gethmobile
was there.
to Jess. But Blogtoven's there. Wow.
Hell yeah.
How was it being in studio for
Yeah.
that? That would be so fun. I'm bummed that I never got to see the Gethard Show live and in person in a studio. I saw it at a theater here. Oh, and Offbeat Valerie was also there.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's really cool. Well, 9 of you got it right. The correct answer was Abby Jacobson, and that was her. Okay, well, everything I said so far was right. And Justin did not drive it across the country.
Jess does not
Jess does not
still
have the car anymore.
That car. It was full of
It
spiders.
was full of spiders.
It belongs to the
And
spiders
Bryson did
now.
a show, the video show, all about it. that you can check out too. Yeah, R.I.P. Gethmobile. I agree. And Nina, you got it right. So let's see if it's R.I.P. anyone's position in the leaderboard. Nope. Yes, and they visited the impound lot where the limo was towed to in that show. So check that out as well. And it was on the killing floor.
Oh.
So it was like
it no longer exists in the form it once was.
I also know there was a lot of complaints about people who tried to find parking were annoyed that it was so long of a car. I think they were all agents of the late night Jimmy who Gethard was dunking on the trunk.
I agree.
But let's go to the next question. Here we go. Question number 3. To celebrate Sandwich Night 11, the Planet Scum community raised $3,000 for which charity? Was that Feeding America, Food Bank for New York City, Meals on Wheels, or the Sandwich Food Pantry?
Is that this last one?
This is the current.
Latest?
This is the latest Sandwich Night. And yeah, people would tweet Geth to complain about parking because his name and face were all over that car.
I love that.
All 12 of you knew it. That was Feeding America.
Nom nom.
Nom nom nom. Let's see who ate up some points on the leaderboard. Goo is taking the lead from Pineapple. Sarm Smith in 3rd. Single walk run in 4th. Blarktoven in 5th. And Goo has a streak with 3 correct answers in a row.
Damn.
Meaning Goo has aced everything so far. I think you have as well.
I have.
That's pretty great.
This is pretty great. I'm usually not that good at these.
Well, let's just get to it then. Our 4th question, which you probably know the answer to as well.
Is this all stuff we watched?
Who voiced Herb Kazaz on BoJack Horseman? Was that Henry Winkler, Paul F. Tompkins, Stanley Tucci, or Will Arnett?
I actually don't know.
And Henry Winkler is great on BoJack and on Barry. He's great as Barry's acting teacher on the show Barry,
which was produced by
Emily Heller of
amazing
Baby
comedian.
Geniuses,
and
Getty Photo fame.
And
just a great comedian.
Ice Thickeners, their whole special is on YouTube. Absolutely check them out.
But 6 of you knew it. It's Stanley Tucci.
I got it.
It's Stanley, the Tucci. Yeah, I agree. Winkler is a complete revelation on Barry to the point that people have been tweeting around a clip of him from a Hallmark special where he just goes, ha, 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 that's Christmas to me. And it's so weird seeing him on Hallmark things now. Because now it feels like a character Gene played, who's the acting teacher from Barry. All of those kinds of roles now feel like a role his character on Barry played to try to pay the bills and get his name out there as an acting teacher.
She also is the writer on what I think is the best episode.
She's written on a lot of the great episodes
of the series.
She was
the credited writer. A really,
yeah.
really good episode. I'm not going to give anything away.
Yeah.
But if you're watching an episode and you're like, fuck, this is really good.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
I was watching, but now I'm like, fuck, this is really good.
It was a Hallmark movie
Emily Heller.
where he played the father, not an ad. Was that the Lily/someone episode?
I think so.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it's that one.
You know what I think? We should go to the leaderboard, see which 6 of you knew it. Pineapple back in the lead. Blogtoven in 2nd. Goo in 3rd. Wrestling Void wrestling their way up to 4th place. And Sarm Smith closing out the leaderboard as we just
I've
passed.
never gotten 4 in a row right.
We just passed the halfway point in this quiz, too, because it's 10 questions. So let's go. Or we're about to pass it to question number 5. The first Spirit of Gethard premiered in what year?
Crap.
2011, 2012, 2013, or 2101? This
I
is a
want
TV.
to vote with my heart.
This is a TV. It's the thing you watch the Spirit of Gethard on.
But my heart wants to pick the joke answer.
5 of you knew it, including Pineapple. It's 2011.
I guess.
The Spirit of Gethard first premiered in 2011. It was produced, directed, and shot by Keith Haskell and Rob Malone. And it featured Gethard, Keith Haskell, Rob Malone, and J.D. Amato. 10 years,
baby!
Beautiful City thinks it's definitely 2101.
Definitely 2101. It makes me think of Fishbones 2032.
Just Tig, of course.
Which is Tig, of course. Everyone check out World's Hottest Goss Mondays on the Board Castle.
Check it out. Just like you can check out
Twitch.
the leaderboard. Where Wrestling Void is now in second.
What a shakeup.
Lot of chaos there. Single walk run in third. Stephen Premmel up in fourth. Blogtoven in fifth. Beautiful City. Oh, they're the highest climber that time. Up 5 places for question number 5. Let's see if their streak of climbing up that board continues. Will they move up 6 places for question number 6? This is a double points question. Carl Reiner played talk show host Alan Brady on The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Oh, fuck.
He reprised the role on which 90s sitcom? Was that Caroline in the City, Mad About You, Seinfeld, or Veronica's Closet? This is why it was a double points one, because it is freaking difficult.
I don't know. All I recognize from this is Seinfeld.
Leah Thompson did Caroline
that's what
in
I'm
the City.
Guessing.
Leah Thompson from Back to the Future did Caroline in the City.
Sure.
Mad About You was Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt. And Phoebe, Lisa Kudrow, played Ursula on that before she got Friends.
Oh.
So Ursula was Phoebe's sister. 1BBBR knows all of these shows, but doesn't know which one is correct. This was brought to you by Wikipedia. This answer brought to you by Wikipedia.
Damn.
11 of you got it. It was Mad About
I'm
You.
the only one who got it wrong?
You are. And on the Dick Van Dyke Show, Alan Brady is the star of the show that Dick Van Dyke's character writes for in universe because he plays a comedy writer.
Oh.
So let's go to the leaderboard to see which 11 of you got it right and see Pineapple
Not
fall
me.
off the leaderboard.
I'm gone completely.
That was a chaotic double points round, and all of you got except for Emily. Doesn't bode well for her.
I'm in 6th place.
Beautiful City says, oh my god, my wild guess was right. Well, Wrestling Void is now in first. Single Walk Run in second. Stephen Premmel in third. Blogtoven in fourth. Goo in fifth. Emily Pineapple in striking distance right off the leaderboard in sixth place. But Wrestling Void has so far gotten almost every question correct. So that's a promising thing and a harsh, difficult competitor for you all as we go to question number 7, which is a multiple select one.
Are you trying to keep me from seeing it? Okay.
Which actors played Frank and Sadie Doyle on the Thrilling Adventure Hours Beyond Belief? Mark Evan Jackson, Jenny Wade, Paget Brewster, Paul F. Tompkins. Which of these played Frank and Sadie Doyle? Here's a pro tip. Maybe choose 2 answers. Because there's 2 characters. This better not be a trick question, says 1BBBR. It is not. The correct answer is Paget Brewster and Paul F. Tompkins. Mark Evan Jackson played Sparks Nevada, Marshall on Mars, and Jenny Wade plays Sparks' ex-girlfriend, Mercy Laredo. Which is mostly in here, so I get to say all the fun names from the Thrilling Adventure Hour. Fair enough, Jess. Mark Evan Jackson was also on The Good Place.
Yeah.
As the, demon.
Yeah,
as one of the little head demon guy.
Demon.
Whose name escapes me.
Yeah.
But let's go. And he's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well. Yeah, he was Sean. Thank you, Single Walk Run. He was Sean on The Good Place, and he's also on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Well, Elida got that right, so let's see what happens to the leaderboard. Pineapple is in 5th place, overtaking Goo. I agree. Mark Evan Jackson rules.
Yes.
Beautiful City. And Studio Kumquat is the highest climber, up 3 places as I burp into the microphone.
They also have Good Morning, Good Place. There's a podcast about the Good Place.
Podcast?
The Good Place podcast.
I think it was just called the Good Place Podcast, right?
I have no idea. But Mark Evan Jackson hosts it and interviews people from the show. It's really
one of my
good.
favorite of the podcasts produced
Super
by the company
evergreen.
that makes the show.
Yeah. The Good Place, the podcast.
Speaking of people who have hosted podcasts, let's go to our next question. What was the name of Riley Solliner's character on Space Wizards Live? GDBO1, aka Good Boy, Lone Wolf, Libertronic Fang Cerulean, or Wolfborg? Oh yeah, and Mark Evan Jackson is also Marianne's dad on the Babysitters Club. And they're gonna that's fair, Franco the third, but 7 of you knew it. It was Libertronic Fang Cerulean. LFC. Easy question.
LFC.
If you saw it, it was. If you didn't see Space Wizards Live, it's not.
Check them out.
Planet Scum's greatest character, says Jazz Fadson Montgomery. Let's see if he's rocketing. Let's see who's
That was
rocketing.
such a good show.
I
I hope we
it.
get more space with.
Let's see who's
wizards.
rocketing up the leaderboard, much like he rocketed around and stopped them from ending the show. It's Pineapple and Single Walk Run and Blogtoven, who are now our top 3, and Blogtoven is back with an answer streak of 3. Oh shit, says King Klon. I forgot to come back and play. Well, that'll do it. You got 2 more. Yeah, you got 2 more questions, so I guess good luck is what I'm saying as we go to question 9. Before she was a Planet Scum host, Kenise Mobley appeared on which episode of Chris Gethard Presents? Chemistry class, Coochie Creek, Hard Read, or Uncancelled? Which episode was Kenise Mobley on the Chris Gethard Presents?
I think I got it right.
Seen here are color bars, which were used in a lot of the iconography around Chris Gethard Presents. This was Keep Your Temper's
Keep Your Temper.
favorite episode of CGP.
Ooh.
If you know Keep Your Temper, that's a hint. I know the correct answer, of course.
I don't know if I got it right.
It's
yeah,
hard
it was Hard Read.
It's Leah Bonhama's Hard Read. Absolutely,
so
you should watch
good.
these. In which Leah Bonhama introduced us to Dr. Charlie Stone.
It's this fantastic supernatural romance detective novel, which is actually really, really hilarious.
Yeah, it was the
by
first
Karen Robards.
by Karen Robards, and it was The Last Victim. And We Are Trash People read the book. We did, and we did an explainer podcast, like a 3-hour explainer podcast, giving you a very detailed plot synopsis that released the day before the show, so that if you didn't read it, you could still catch their in-jokes.
I literally have not worked on anything harder in my entire life.
That was very hard. That was a
I didn't do a thesis in
hard
college,
read.
but that was.
Oh, Premmel wants to start a book club for gubernatorial candidate and great voting rights activist Stacey Abrams' spicy murder books. She should check out. But let's see who's haunting our leaderboard now, shall we? In first place, it's still Single Walk Run. Pineapple up to second. Wrestling Void up to third. If you want to check the podcast, Stephen Premmel and Forrest.
Does it still exist?
It's on our YouTube.
Oh.
So check the We Are Trash People YouTube page. Our podcast feed no longer exists, but all the podcast episodes are up on our YouTube.
That was the first thing I did where, like, someone said that I was funny.
That episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Because,
great.
like, we didn't know anyone on the Discord at that point.
No.
And we were being, like, very shy.
Yes.
Because we are shy.
The only reason anyone found out about our show is because Patrick Cotner stumbled on it.
Yeah. Because we were like, we're not going to tell anyone. But I remember Jess quoted, like, one of the jokes that I had written in. And was like, that's hilarious. And I'm like, someone thinks I'm funny?
It was very...
The thing I wrote with my own brain?
I enjoyed, because like, you
really
did most
cool.
of the notes, and then I had notes for like the last few chapters. And it was really fun. Well, that's true. That and everyone who hosted a CGP listened to our podcast. That's true.
They were very
Keith
sweet.
Haskell like reached out to us directly and was like, "Why didn't you email me?" And I'm like, "Cause we're shy."
We're so
But, yeah,
shy.
everyone who hosted listened and loved it, which means so much.
Like, you don't understand that this doesn't feel like we're talking to a bunch of people. It feels like we're hanging out.
Yeah, yeah. That's why we don't do live shows. I'm so much more comfortable talking to the soulless eye of a camera.
Oh, that soulless eye.
But let's just wrap this up. We are hanging out.
We are.
Which I love.
Right?
Yes, and yeah, thank you, Lena.
Aww.
Yeah, that was really fun. I
That
loved when we
was.
broke the USB. I broke the USB camera or USB cord mid-show, so we just cut to black. And
Did you see how panicked we were? Could you taste our fear? Like, could you taste
bent
my
the USB
anxiety throughout the entire episode? That entire episode, could you taste our anxiety?
Or the pre-show was longer than the panel we were talking about because we just got too excited talking to everybody.
And I'm just like, I don't know how to host a thing. And then, like,
Thank
Patrick,
you,
like,
Lena.
saved my ass.
It was great. It was great.
I can still feel the psychic
fun.
reverberations in this room of our anxiety.
I wish we'd been able to light it better. I wish we had this lighting. Not what we had there, but we had all the Star Wars models hanging from the ceiling and everything too.
That's true.
You know what else is true? The answer to our final question of the day. Which musical guest took the stage after Will Ferrell performed an occult ritual to boost the Chris Gethard show's ratings? Was that Charlie Bliss, Chris Farron, Jeff Rosenstock, or less than Jake?
I really have no idea.
Wait, you're saying didn't they reveal... Oh, yeah, I think that they did. I think they may have mentioned that they were trying to get it to happen then.
Yeah.
I think they foreshadowed that they wanted to do it somewhere.
Because they really wanted to do it, and Connor was being all like, the pandemic though, and we're like, they have to do it. They have to do it.
3 of you got it right. It was Chris Farron, but they're all real close. TCGS musical guests.
I guessed Jeff Rosenstock.
Chris Farron and Jeff Rosenstock were the guests on episode 7 of Planet Scum Live, which is a fun little trivia fact. Really this cool probably should have been a double points question, but it wasn't. Let's see who won our game of Planet Scum.
Well, then I would have been completely off the board. I might still be on the podium.
We'll see. In third place, with 7 out of 10 correct, it is Blogtoven. In second place with 8 out of 10, it's Wrestling Void. And the winner with 7 out of 10, it is Single Walk Run of Pineapples in fourth place, and Stephen Premmel in fifth place.
Congratulations!
Sarm Smith got a little moose telling them awesome effort.
I got a little robot.
Ooh,
look, you can see our computer screen.
Put it back. Put the robot back. No, that doesn't help at all.
That didn't help.
Ooh, that got too bright. Woo woo! Everyone's and that is when that's when double points. They can make all the difference.
Big difference.
I'm glad. Thank you all so much for playing. I'm going to turn our light up just a little bit. There we go.
So very much, everyone, for playing. Super excited to see what happens in the box game tonight.
Will this be the final episode?
Will this be
of the box?
The final episode? Plugs. Check out World's Hottest Gas. That's right. It's on Mondays.
Yes.
At the Board Castle.
Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/theboardcastle.
And I'm telling you, if you got any inch of joy from watching us right now, you're going to fucking love this show.
Absolutely you will. It's Clancy Fishbones
Clancy
2032.
2032. You might have heard them on the post show.
Might have seen them
on All Condiments Eve.
And Sandwich Night, where they ate the pumpkin pie sandwich. Yeah, we don't promote the YouTube that much.
I didn't know we had it. I knew we had a Radio Free Multiverse one. Check out Radio Free Multiverse. We do trivia every Fridays. Trivia from outside of time and space. That's right. The only trivia show in any dimension that destroys a planet every single episode.
This says it's Grand Trivia, but guaranteed. I just remembered it's not going to be Grand Trivia this week.
It's not?
No. It's a themed episode.
But it's still Grand Trivia. Well, we're celebrating Hanukkah this week.
Together.
So if you want to see how a megalomaniacal fish creature from the fifth dimension celebrates Hanukkah, you're going to want to check this out.
If you want to see his celebratory costume, check it out this Friday at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern at RadioFreeMultiverse.com.
And stick around on the Discord for the post show after the show. Should be pretty fucking cool. And
there's bits.
We
go through the community calendar, and we have a commercial to go through the community calendar again from Alice, our conspicuous benefactor.
So I think we wanted to show off another zine.
We don't really have
a ton
of time because I got to get ready for
that's fair
the show.
Yeah,
for Planet Scum
call
Live
screening. Well, everyone check out Ive.
Yeah, check out Sir Ive's zines. We can go through them next week as our show and tell.
Instagram. Sir Ive is a regular contributor to Mary's painting party. And they put their zines on their Instagram. You can see them. You can buy digital copies. And they look amazing.
They also made games you can play and everything. So check out Sir Ive's Instagram. They've been posting about it recently. They have a zine-themed one, which we can look at next week. Right here on We Are Trash People.
We're so excited.
We're very excited. I really want to look at that next week. I want to look through it and get it all ready to go.
Why am I so hyper? I got like no sleep last night. Watch me be like asleep for the post show. But if I keep up this energy, damn! Okay. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm so excited to see all of you in the comments for the box show.
Absolutely.
In T minus most like 50 minutes. Just under an hour. Just under an hour. And
see you later.
Good night and good claw.
Good night and good claw.